dearest friends, welcome back to my channel, Diana and the Book Hunt. I haven't done a trope recommendation video lately, so I decided to do one today where I'm going to talk about romance books that feature top tier A+ banter within them. I get giddy when I read banter-filled books. I find that the dialogue just flows so well. I find that the characters' chemistry is built through the banter. So I typically will have a high rating for such books, and I have 10 books to recommend to you today with really great banter within them. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and dive into the books. I really wanted to challenge myself with this one to only include books that I've read recently, so that you're going to hear me talking about books that I haven't talked about too much on my channel yet. The first one is one that is quite popular, but I just really love the banter within this book so much that I couldn't not include it. It's The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is a romantasy book that features a heroine, Uriah, who is a human. She's going to participate in this competition, and within this competition, most of the participants are vampires, and the hero, Rain, he's actually one of those vampires. Now, the banter within this book is so well done because we've got a hero who is very intrigued by the heroine because she is a human participating kind of like almost like the prey within this competition, because everyone seems to kind of underestimate her. And it's just so interesting to see how fascinated he is with her. He provokes her the whole time and she reacts to those provocations. So it's so nice to see how they kind of go back and forth with each other. And the beautiful thing that is mentioned throughout the duology is whenever he's starting to kind of provoke her, he sees this kind of fire within her, and then he says, "There she is." Whenever he says that line, it just hits in all the right places. I really love this book. I love the duology. I loved everything about it, and the banter is one of the things that just made it so special to me. So if you haven't read this duology yet, do yourself a favor and pick it up as soon as possible. The next book is a book by Meghan Quinn. I have to say that Meghan Quinn is an author who writes rom-coms, so many of the books that she has written have banter within them. The one that I'm going to mention is a recent read of mine that I really enjoyed. I just laughed out loud at a couple of the moments within the book, so I had to include it within this video. The book is Right Man, Right Time. It's a hockey romance that features a hero and heroine who start a fake dating relationship because of a very interesting meet cute. They're at this bar. The heroine meets up with some friends of hers, and then she sees her ex-boyfriend who has come into the bar with her nemesis, and it turns out that the two of them have started dating. So the heroine kind of wants to one-up them, if you will, and she grabs the most attractive guy in the bar, she kisses him, and she says that that's her boyfriend. So they start this fake dating relationship together, and because they need to kind of get to know each other for the purposes of their fake dating pretense relationship, they have such amazing banter together. Their dialogue is just so funny, specifically because also there's an age gap between them. So she kind of makes fun of his age and he kind of gets offended by that. I really love that part of the dialogue so much. And it was just a very fun read. So if you like funny and just witty banter, Meghan Quinn has many books that you can kind of explore with this type of dialogue, and this one is a great one to pick up as well. The next book that I'm going to mention is by Ali Hazelwood. I think that most of Ali Hazelwood's books actually have great banter within them, but the one that I want to mention is a recent read of mine. It's Check and Mate. This one is the young adult, kind of new adult book that Ali Hazelwood released recently. It's a book that features two chess players, and both of them are really good at what they do. The hero, Nolan, is actually the world champion within the chess world, and he gets beaten by our heroine, Mallory. So for him, this is kind of like a rivalry that he wants to explore. He wants to play her again, but she actually doesn't want to do that because she has a very difficult relationship with her chess background. And the rivals to lovers trope just lends itself so well to explore banter within the book. I think that Ali Hazelwood did a splendid job with this one, because the hero was infatuated with the heroine because of her skills and because of how beautiful she is. At the same time, she was kind of aloof about how he views her. So there are a lot of jabs at each other about chess, about their rivalry, about how they're going to explore their relationship within the professional setting, but also in terms of a friendship. So yeah, this one was really well done as well. The next book, I have to say, is probably one of my favorites on this list. I just recently finished it and I fell in love with it. The book is Burnout by Rebecca Jenshak. This is a sports romance that features a motocross racer and a gymnast. I have so much to say about this book. It's so well done when it comes to the banter. It's an enemies to lovers situation, because the hero is a motocross racer who is going to be competing with like motocross acrobatics for the summer while it's off season for him. And he needs someone to help him with the acrobatics in the air when he's doing those stunts. And one of his teammates suggests that he take some lessons with a gymnast, who is our heroine. And the two of them really don't hit it off at the start. They do feel an attraction towards each other, but they really hate each other's guts at the start of the book. So both of them are throwing jabs at each other the whole time. So the banter between them is just top tier. I think that rivals to lovers and enemies to lovers are the two tropes that really fit so well when it comes to banter. The banter just adds to their relationship, to the animosity, to the angst and tension that is building between the characters. So these types of books are just so much better when you have banter between the characters, and this one just does it so well. And also the way that they continue bantering after they fall in love is just top tier. So this one is definitely one that you should add to your TBR. The next one I feel is a very underrated romance. It's Tastes Like Shakar by Nisha Sharma. This is the second standalone book within a series, and I really liked the first one, but this one I liked even more, I think. This one features a wedding planner and a chef. The two of them are part of this friends group, but they don't really like each other. The two of them need to work together to have their friend's wedding organized, and they need to succeed at it if possible. So they really need to work together. They have this forced proximity relationship, and like I mentioned, they don't like each other at the start because of certain things that happen between them. At least it's the heroine who has more of an issue with the hero. The hero really is attracted to her, but he kind of knows that she hates his guts. So the two of them have these little jabs at each other, and the two of them really are trying to provoke each other the whole time, and you immediately notice this tension between them because of the way they behave around each other, and that is something that just builds such amazing angst within the story. I feel like this really is one of the underrated reads that I've read in the last couple of months, so if you haven't picked it up, please explore it and add it to your TBR as well. Another one of my recent favorites is The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer. This book is a hockey romance that features another fake dating relationship. We've got a professional hockey player and their physical therapist of the team, and the two of them start fake dating, and they have a history together. Not a romantic history, but the two of them used to go to the same high school, so they know each other from way back when. And the hero definitely uses his knowledge from back in the day to kind of provoke the heroine the whole time, and I really love that within the book. I also love that the whole time he's trying to get her attention in some way, and that is where the banter kind of starts with them. So he's trying to find a way to connect with her, and he uses kind of his charm and his cockiness to do that, and he really gets on her nerves with that, so she is easily provoked, and that just is the kind of banter that I absolutely love within books, and it's done so well within this one. And again, once they start having a romantic relationship, it just continues on, and that is something that I just eat up within books. So this one was a definite favorite of mine, and I definitely recommend that you pick it up if you haven't already. The next one is an interesting one. It's The Love Plot by Samantha Young. This one features a different kind of trope than enemies to lovers, or what is it, rivals to lovers. This one is opposites attract. We've got a hero who is very much straight-laced. He is a vet. He is coming from like this aristocratic rich family, while the heroine is very much, she was raised by hippies. She's not very well off financially. She's kind of flighty in the eyes of everyone else. She has this job, she's a line sitter, and then she's also someone who is an entertainer at parties. And the two of them couldn't be more opposite. And because they are such opposites of each other, when they start to banter, it just creates this amazing tension between them, as well as this opportunity for them to get to know each other and to see how, even though they are opposites, they fit with each other so well because they provoke each other so well. So I don't know if I'm explaining this really well, but just the way that they communicate with each other and the fun that they have together. So she's trying to get him to kind of relax a little bit and not be so straight-laced, and he's trying to get her to see his point of view and the way that he behaves, and that he has a reason for that. It just makes sense, and when they provoke each other, it's just the best way to see that they really fit together. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one as well, and I hope you pick it up as well. Another trope where banter often occurs is forced proximity, and the next book has that in abundance because it's a marriage of convenience book. It's The Favor by Suzanne Wright. We've got a rich CEO who needs to marry someone to get an inheritance, which is often the case with marriage of convenience romances. And the person that he's going to marry is his personal assistant. She has always had a thing for him, but because she always thought that it's not professional to show her feelings, she always kind of kept her feelings guarded and not shown at all. And she very much thinks that he's too cocky for his own good. She really definitely wants to kind of bring him back down, if you get what I mean. So she definitely doesn't take his crap at all as well. So it's such an interesting thing to see them kind of bicker the whole time, and she really is the person who is keeping him level-headed. And I really love the banter between them, and the fact that they have to be together the whole time. They have this forced proximity, leads to a lot of conversations between them with a lot of banter, and it just keeps you wanting more of that connection between them. And that's the thing with banter, it just is so entertaining to read through. It's just so engaging for a reader, and I really love those books, all of them, because of that. So yeah, this one is an amazing one as well to add to your TBR. The next book is a mafia romance by J.T. Geissinger. I think that any book that you pick up off of this series is going to be one that you'll enjoy because of the banter. The one that I'm going to mention is book 3 within the Queens and Monsters series. It's called Savage Hearts. We've got a hero who is part of the Russian mob. He kidnaps the heroine because he has a problem with, let's say, her family. She just doesn't take any of his crap. He did not expect to have any kind of pushback from the heroine, and that is all she was giving him the whole time. So he was very frustrated and very confused about what is going on once he kidnapped her. So there is a lot of banter within this book, and it's so well done. I have to say that I think J.T. Geissinger really found a niche within mafia romance, because usually mafia romances are very over the top, very action filled, very heavy on the alpha energy, and we're all used to that within mafia romances. But J.T. Geissinger just found a niche for herself where she included this banter within her books that just make for all the more enjoying experience for a reader. So yeah, I enjoyed all 4 books within this series. This one is definitely my favorite one, if I have to be honest. So yeah, if you haven't picked up this series, all of them are really good. The last book I'm going to mention is probably the spiciest book out of this list. It's The Frat Boy by Nikki Sloane, and this one features the enemies to lovers trope, like to the extreme, because the two of them really hate each other's guts. We've got the hero and heroine who are in college and they're at rivaling teams, and at the start of the book they have this event that really goes very wrong for both of them. So both of them are out of housing, out of a job, and they both need somewhere to stay as well as somewhere to work. And they find this job opportunity as adult entertainer. So both of them apply for the same job. So they live together, they work together in adult films. So they have this forced proximity situation where they need to be intimate together as well, even though they hate each other's guts. So all of this equals top tier banter all the time. I really love this book because even though it's really spicy, there's a lot of banter, all of that doesn't take away from the plot of the story. I really enjoyed it. I definitely recommend it as well. So my friends, these were the 10 books that I wanted to recommend to you that have top tier banter. Please leave your own recommendations for me down below in the comments. I would love to explore more books with top tier A+ banter within them. I love these kinds of stories. And if you enjoyed my video, please don't forget to put a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I hope to see you in the next one. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Happy reading. Take care and bye-bye.